Hey, what's up y'all? Jason with Jadren Aquatics coming at you again. Today we are going to go over and take a look at all the shrimp tanks that I have. Give you some updates on those. I haven't shown you updates in that in a while. I've got, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 9 10-gallon tanks dedicated only to shrimp. Now all the shrimp that I keep are all Neocaridina. That means those are the easier ones to keep. I haven't tried any of the harder ones yet, but I'm having great luck with these. These things are very prolific. 3 of the tanks, 1, 2, 3 of the tanks I've only had shrimp in those for a month, I think. So I don't think they really have any young ones yet. But let's go ahead and let's swing over there and let's take a look and see what is happening. All right, so first tank. Now these were the first ones that I ever bought, and when I bought them, I can't remember the whole story on them. I don't know if somebody gave them to me or what, but they were thought to be some type of orange at first, but they seem to obviously be cherry shrimp. They're a little bit lighter in color. Like these over here are cherry shrimp for sure in that tank. These guys just are not a high as a class of cherry shrimp, I guess you would say. And so when I first got these, I don't know, I think I got like 15 or 20 of them, but as you can see, I have hundreds of them now. If you look back into the back of the tank, you'll see them. They're back there on the sponge also. They're all over this Java fern. I just fed them, so that's why they're all out front. Okay, so let's move over to the next tank, and again, these are all cherry shrimp for sure. And again, these I bought, I think I started off with 10 of these, and this is how many I have now. And again, that's not all of them. There's still more back in the back. There's more hidden. These are just all the ones that have come up front to actually eat. Okay, the next ones that I got, these are the Fantasy Blues. Same thing, I bought 10 of them, and they've turned into hundreds again. So you'll notice again in these tanks that if you look at that Java moss, it doesn't have too much hair algae growing in it. This one has a ton, which I actually just cleaned this up a bunch yesterday, and then this one looks perfect. All of these are the same water, same lighting, so why one is doing this, and then this one I haven't cleaned up very much. As you can see in the next tank we're going to get to, it has grown absolutely everywhere. I absolutely do not understand why it's so different from tank to tank. But, okay, so there's another good look at the Fantasy Blues. Everyone looks great. The coloring looks great on these guys, especially through the camera. They look fantastic. Okay, the next one we have, these are the Bloody Marys. And because we have all this hair algae in here, we don't get to see them as grouped up as the other ones. But they are everywhere throughout this hair algae. They love this hair algae. That's the only thing about it, is they get to go through there and eat all the little things that are all hanging on to it. So I just try to keep it trimmed back so that it doesn't take over the entire tank. It's hard trimming it back. I have to watch really carefully because there's little baby shrimp all throughout it. So I try and make sure that I don't get rid of any of them accidentally. Okay, so that's the bottom 4 tanks. So let's move up to the top tank. Now this tank, this is the only one that I've had any trouble with. These are the, they're blacks. Can't remember if they had like a special name. Black Rose. Had to use my cheat sheet to figure them out. See if I can adjust the light to get some of that glare off there. But as far as I know, there's only 2 of these guys in here So I'm hoping it's a male and female, so they'll at least reproduce. I started out with, I think, 10 of these, and I guess I've lost the other ones. But this is the only one that the only tank that, or the only species that I'm struggling with. Okay, so let's move on to this one. These are the carbon rillies. Again, you can see these guys are prolific as crazy. They're breeding like nuts. There's probably 50 to 100 of these guys in there. Okay, the next tank. Okay, the next tank are these are the 3 that I have just bought. Let's find my cheat sheet so I can remember. Okay, I think these are the Tangerine Tigers, maybe? Let's see, I've got my list. I've got Orange Pumpkin, Tangerine Tiger, and oh, these are the I think these are the Greenland Jades is actually what these guys are. They have a little bit of a tint of orange to them. I bought 10 of them, so I don't know if that's 10 there or not. It looks about like that many. All right, so let's move to the next one, which I assume these are the Tangerine Tigers. I don't see as many of these guys out. You can see there's at least one there. Oh, here's a good one right here. There's a good shot of one on the rock, and then back there on the sponge filter there's another one. So these guys are doing pretty good too. I think I only ordered 5 of these. I think these were pretty expensive. So I see 1, 2, 3. I see 4 for sure. Okay, and then last but not least, we have got the pumpkin spice, as I think which ones these actually are. Again, I think I bought 5 of these, and I see all 5 of them right there eating right now. Again, remember these last 3 tanks I've only had probably about a month, so they haven't really had time to reproduce yet. But you can see those guys are doing great also. So again, we got 9 tanks with I guess 8 different types, but all man, I don't know why that's so hard for me to say. Neocaridina, which again are the easier to keep tanks, easier to keep shrimp. Okay, so let's go over just a few things. So all of the shrimp that I have, I got from Flip Aquatics, except for the ones that I thought were kind of orange that I think someone gave to me that are really apparently cherry. But everything else I got from Flip Aquatics, and you'll see in each tank there's spiderwood and the dragonstone in all of them. I also got the spiderwood and the dragonstone. I got that all from Flip Aquatics also. And each one of them has Java moss. That was some that I had left over from some of the other tanks. You'll also notice most all the tanks have a bit of a brown kind of tinge to them. That's because I have these catappa leaves in them. So I guess if you're curious how I'm getting these things to breed so well, then I'll just simply tell you what I did, because I didn't do anything special. But again, I've got the catappa leaves in each one of these, and whenever that catappa leaves deteriorates, I throw another one in there. The water that I use in each one of these tanks, I run it through a RODI unit. Now that RODI unit is, the one that I have is, they're not the cleanest filters in the world, so there's no way that I'm getting 0 TDS in there. I'm obviously getting something through there, but it doesn't seem to matter. The next thing that I use to mix in the water is this. This is the shrimp mineral GH. I use whatever the recommended dose of this is. I got this from Flip Aquatics also. So when I'm mixing the water, I mix this stuff in there. When water runs out of these tanks, evaporates, I just put more of that same RO water in there. Water changes currently right now, I'm only doing about 10% a month. I think that's about what I'm doing. I think that's what I've seen Rob doing on his also, so that seems to be working well. The only other additive that I'm using is this Bacter AE. I don't know, this thing provides some kind of bacteria and also produces something kind of film that builds up on everything that the fish love to eat. I don't put this in there probably as often as you should, maybe once a month, but I think it says in there you can put in there like every day if I'm right. So that's the other things that I'm using. Other than that, I barely know what I'm doing with these things, and they breed anyway. So they obviously are pretty easy. So I would like to try some of the harder species, some of the ones that seem to be, I keep saying species. I don't even know if that's the right terminology or not. Forgive me if it is, but I have no clue. So I might want to do some of the other ones, because some of the other ones have some cooler colors, some cooler kind of red and white patterns. So I might try some of those, even though this whole rack is now full of shrimp tanks. I don't know exactly where I'm going to put them. Maybe put some back over here on this other rack. But that is that's my update on all of my shrimp tanks, and kind of explain to you guys a little bit what I've done to them. If you're curious on how I'm successful at this. Back here. All right. So thanks again, guys, for joining me. Be sure and leave any comments if you got any comments below. Got any suggestions, any questions? I don't care anything. You just want to say, hey, what's up? Or you want to tell me about the World Cup. We're down to 8 teams now. So that's, 8 teams, down to 8 teams. So that's exciting. All right. So thanks again, guys, and God bless.